and stuff, and it's just exactly the right size to just have a sit with for a bit. Which, like, I think I'm gonna have to just not stuff these guys as much. Cause, like, I don't know if you can hear that, but, like, this dude's pretty solid. Which works for, like, stability and stuff, but there's something to be said for, like, squishy. I did not weight the wings, but I was thinking about it for a next one. Partly, I was trying to figure if the pattern would even work for a critter of this size, and it does. Especially if I'm doing it on the machine, because I need to get the machine ready to do that. But it'd be a lot easier to kind of section off parts of the wings for, like, the pellets or whatever ends up getting used as a weight. Doing it that way. So, yeah. Anyway. So that's that's where we are at the moment. Huggability is of import. Yes. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Nightbot, for the water reminder. Yeah. Oh, yeah. On the note of the bats, apparently there's a track in the music that I've been using for, like, art streams that is copyright or is being claimed or something that repeats occasionally. Because in both of the last two streams that has been used in for, like, the duration, not just the first couple minutes, the audio's been muted, so we'll see what happens with that. I was gonna try and convert the one from Thursday to YouTube because we're talking about bats and going through bat stuff and all that. But I don't know how to go about doing that now if the audio's off. Because I know there's ways to, like, you can cut at a certain point, but it's in there repeatedly, so I don't know. We shall see. If nothing else, we can revisit bat facts at a later date and just not have the audio on at that point. Okay. So, any particular observations, directions of whatnot that y'all wanted to explore right out the gate, or just go with it? Because I know you guys aren't feeling so great, so there we go. Also, yeah, Hello Chew has made a reappearance because I figure might as well get the most use out of the shirt as I can for the apt season and stuff. That he's got a pumpkin on his head and it's adorable. So, there we go. um oh yeah. As to the questions that were posted in the Discord, where to go? Yeah, I agreed that chapter 20 was just a whole lot of shenanigans there. Go forth and entertain your brights, brighten our day. Hugs for you from the where's it? Where's the eyeballs? There we go. Yes, just covertly peeking over the wings. Hugs. Okay, so agreed that chapter 20 was kind of wonky. So, like, how does it start? We'll get to that we'll get to that in a bit. And in 19 when she's trying to sneak past the cat, it's basically like, but from what I remember reading, she manages to, what is it, 19? Manages to sneak past the cat, doing the invisibility thing. But, like, she does the invisibility thing. The cat leaves the room, she drops it, and then, like, then does it again. So, I don't know. Okay, so, when we left off at the end of 9, Teddy had fainted because he was just told that no one had been informed where he got to. But she has to open the door the cat's in front of. Okay. That's the thing, because I might be getting it wrong. And at that point, she didn't know it was an evil spy cat. Yeah, no, totally. It sounded like, from the reading, it sounded like, there was, like, I don't know, or, like, there was the turret, and there was a floor in the turret, and there was a kind of a hall going into the main thing, and there was a door somewhere in there that the cat was sitting at and meowing. And she went past the cat, or let me find it. This is gonna bug me. Okay, 15. Where's 20? 19. There we go. Okay. Okay. So she was climbing the ivy to get to the turret. Came in through the third level, went down to the second level. That's where the sitting room was. Okay, beyond a settee in one of the flat walls, a solid oak door led to what Piper assumed was her grandmother's chambers. And sitting right before the door and meowing sadly was the Persian. Okay, so she's coming in from a side door thing that leads to the upper level. There's an interior door that presumably leads to like personal quarters that the cat is sitting in front of all sad like. And okay, focusing all our attention on her invisibility, Piper tightened it around herself and descended another flight of the spiral staircase with painstaking care, then entered Melinda's office. Okay, so the office is on the first floor, the living quarters are on the second floor, and the entrance point was on the third floor. So she's going past the cat, but not actually engaging with the cat. It's just like it vaguely notices that there's something there, and then goes back to crying at the door. Which would make sense if, her human was behind the door. But from later chapters, we know that regardless of who the cat's human is, the mom is downstairs eating, and the cat that's downstairs is the grandma, so both of them are there. So either the cat's just sad and wants out, or like there's something else behind the door that's never explained. Because that's what my cats do when they want in to wherever I'm sitting. So my first thought was that the grandma was locked in the room, or someone had taken over the mom and the real mom was locked in the room or whatever. But apparently the cat's just sitting there in the hall, in the room, just crying. Because reasons. Is ivy really climbable? Never met any that wouldn't rip off whatever you wanted to climb. It depends, really. There's certain species that might be more stable than others, but at the end of the day, it kind of depends on how long it's been in the location that it's growing. Because ivy if ivy is well established, then it can form kind of a strong woody trunk almost that's anywhere like ground level at least it can be fairly sizable, because it needs to have enough like built up vascular tissue to pump nutrients and everything to the rest of the um, vine system. So the end bits, yeah, totally not. But if it's if there's enough branching that's like overlapping and stuff, and if it's been in place long enough to actually have a strong foothold and whatnot, then maybe. It also depends on the weight of the person, because Piper's 12 from the depiction at least on the cover. She's in theory a relatively slight uh, body type. So compared to someone that has a lot more muscle mass or whatnot, probably wouldn't be putting as much weight on the ivy as someone else, or an adult for that matter. But I don't know on that one. Actually. Actually. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, okay. Being that the plant, like, you can. Yeah. Always been suspicious of ivy and downspout climbing in books. Yeah, no, totally. The, the downspout, it's like. It, most of the time it's held onto the side of a building by, like, 4 screws. How can you climb down or up that and not die horribly? Like, it, or when it's depicted as someone climbing up the trellis or along the, I don't know, relatively fragile decor on the side of a Victorian or whatever. Like, I think the only time that I've seen it where it's actually broken from someone's weight with that is if it's a mystery and that's a plot point, or if it's like supposed to be a rom-com and it's a plot point because like someone falls and someone else catches them. Like, I don't what. Okay, so we've got how to train English ivy. Can you climb up ivy? Okay. English ivy uses aerial roots to support itself and climb up surfaces. These roots aggressively penetrate cracks and joints and can cause structural damage, so avoid planting on brick walls. Can you climb up? Can you what? Really? Can you climb up the Statue of Liberty? Like on the outside? Like seriously, all of these. Like, is the implication that you're using the stairs that are built into the building? Cause like, yeah, totally. You could climb the stairs, that's fine. But like, can you climb up the Leaning Tower of Pisa? That just that makes it sound like you're trying to scale the outside with like no climbing gear or anything. Anyway. Seriously, what? With with the number of times that I've seen Ivy described as climbing up the side of a building or someone climbing the ivy or whatever, you would think that that would. Honestly. Yes, we know that it's aerial roots. Are the aerial roots strong enough to, secure the whole thing and a person trying to climb up them? That's the question. Ah. So, yeah, okay. Educated analysis says, possibly. It depends on particular parameters. So there's that. Oh, man. Alright. Why isn't there a Mythbusters episode on this? You would think. You would think. You know? Because, like, there's enough depictions of climbing a trellis that half the time is just vaguely tacked onto the side of the house. And that falls over half the time. But, like, the ivy, though, it's just kind of, eh. Also, it wouldn't be Deus Ex Machina, but, like, I Deus Ex Plante, I suppose. Like, Like, both of the windows that she is climbing the ivy to get to, both the attic and the turret that she's trying to get to, or the is it the same thing? Is the attic in the turret? But there's two windows that Piper needs to get to that the ivy is pointing towards. So, like, you could read it as the house wants her to find things so that secrets are revealed or something. Or the road of fidelity and whatnot is pointing her towards answers or something. Ring light doesn't make a difference. Okay, good to know. Attic window and turret windows are same windows. Okay, that's what I thought. Because yeah, there's a direct path between her balcony and the attic slash turret slash whatever else window that she needs to get to. And that's where the majority of the vines are converging. So even if individual strands are weaker, the accumulated growth would maybe be strong enough to hold her weight and be stable enough to like repeatedly hold her weight because she has to go back and forth, which also plays into the narrative of one person can't solve the riddles of the garden, the collective group needs to. Whether that's an intended thing or just like, oh yes, we can put that here because it's a ladder. There you go. Have fun. Like, but there we go. Okay. If it's not helping, I'll just do that. So, yeah. Put you there. And then we've got I know it's like, okay. How to phrase this? Like, I appreciate that the author is very definitely dating the book, right? There's certain passages that, like, I can't remember where they are right now, but there's certain passages that, like, are relevant now, so it's very much solidifying the text to the present day. Well, my usual go-to is a bit more like, I don't know, time malleable, I guess. time consistent, what have you. To which to which point you could pick it up in like 50 years, and as long as, general world events that were happening, as long as it's like taking place in this reality, like, if you know general world events, you should be able to follow along something. But the number of, like, current pop culture references and things that are in this is a level that I only tend to see in certain iterations of fanfiction. Which, I mean, it's stuff that kids would know now. It's a kid's book, so it works from that perspective. And there's stuff in here that might be relevant later on down the line and whatnot. Like, there's a reference to, oh yeah, Percy Jackson's awesome, yeah. But it's also very evident that the author is a Yankees fan and has a rather prominent awareness of, stake in, whatever, the Yankees Red Sox rivalry. Because it's brought up in every interaction between Piper and Teddy. Every time. It's later used as like a, well, I mean, we have differences of opinion and stuff, and we kind of don't get along with that, but like, we're still friends, so it's fine. So like, it can work as like a teaching moment or a learning moment or something to enforce, like, we're different, but like, we can still be friends. We're different, but that makes it better. But like, and I realize here, I I totally realize that people can be that spirited, I guess I'll say, when it comes to sports teams, just like anything that people are a fan of, especially if there's like a particular reason for whatever. Like, the family has always supported this one, so therefore they're awesome and everyone else is bad. I get it. But especially with how often it's brought up in the span of Piper meets Teddy, and then a week later, the book, or a week later, the rest of the kids get in there. So, in the span of a week plus, random snippets after the fact, it's repeated often enough as a thing that it just starts feeling really contrived, as, the author's trying to find some kind of conflict point so that they can resolve it and be friends. When there's the whole, elixir situation, too. So, I don't know. I will say, though, that using the elixir and the implications of trying to decide whether or not to use it or not, to that whole situation, because in this iteration it ends up being that you're just frozen in whatever state you were in when you took the elixir. Then it kind of bashes you over the head with the whole mortality aspect, because that's the entire point of most of the garden. To just hammer home how, you have to accept mortality and death, and how death is a part of life and everything else. Which works for the story, because that's what Piper needs to accept in order to move on and start healing and stuff, and to let her dad go and whatnot. But the only way that whole thing made any sense is if it was Piper specifically who was doing the challenges. At which point, it becomes like a weird chosen one situation again. That's just kind of reinforced later with the she's trying to protect her mom, or protect the elixir more than anything else. Her mom's there, and taps into another hidden ability that only the most special of people can have more than one. So what? There's much there's much about the book that feels contrived. We don't care, so we hand wave the whole sports rivalry thing. The riddles. We know you're like 10, but so obvious. Yeah. It's guys. Guys. And because it's so obvious, right? It's one of those situations that, was this thing designed specifically for kids that haven't hit, it did the original, like, master plan involve rigging it so that if you've been through puberty, then you can't go in the garden? Is that the situation that we're working with here? Because, like, that's the only way it makes any sense. Because otherwise, anyone would have been able to get in there at some point and do the. Like, if you get to the point that there is a riddle, you would be able to solve it. Because, like, you think for a second, and then, okay, yeah. So long as you have, the linguistic knowledge base and all the rest of it. But, like, what? What? And it's not even like we have created this set of situations to make sure that the right person is getting the thing. It's just like each of the challenges is directly correlated to one of the people in the group. So, like, did someone have a seer on the team and they did that intentionally, or was it just happenstance? Because, like, that's kind of a BS shenanigan kind of, reason there. Why? Like, I can see why certain things were done and stuff, but everything from, like, yes, the paper that your mom wrote that is so very obviously the thing that got her kicked out of the scientific community and ended your parents' marriage is just like chilling here in a drawer that's unlocked in your grandmother's stuff. That happens to also have a letter in it saying how mad she is about whatever. And then there's like a letter sitting like right next to it that says like, no, sorry, we can't fulfill your request to remove the elixir because, like, nah. What? Like, I will say there was a little bit of a mystery, slightly, about the cat and stuff, and that was kind of cool. Figuring that out. But after a certain point, it's like, okay. But soil samples being different because dimensions is interesting. Yeah, no, that, honestly, like, right? I want to read more about that. Like, I legitimately want to read the research paper, but, like, it doesn't exist. And that's another annoying thing. Like, we got through this, and there's like some contrived bits, and like there's a lot of contrived bits and shenanigans and bits that don't make sense. And then there's like, oh yeah, my mom wrote this research paper about, talking about soil samples and how like magical stuff influences soil samples. Whenever it's like, okay, where's that? I just a couple of passages even. Just like there's like 3 full letters in here. I just want a couple of pages out of the thing. It says like how soil samples change if they're subjected to magical dimension shifting. You know? Ah, the world building is lacking in this. Yeah, because the only real world building, aside from like this is in current reality time stuff where people like pop music and whatever, is that the rest of the community thinks that the house is like has a witch living in there and that she kidnaps kids and then they live in the house. We are not the intended audience. I know. I realize that. When it's like, you wrote a thing. You wrote an abstract. Now I want to read the thing. Ah. Honestly. Like, just. And we're just kind of thrown into it, which, like, makes sense. We're following Piper and she's just kind of thrown into it. But aside from some serious, like, exposition bits, because Piper isn't in the classes, we never get the full capacity of like the magic system that they're operating in. Just that individual people have different abilities, and like if you're in distress, then you can maybe sort of tap into it, kind of. So like I don't what. Because like even when she's I don't know having classes, it's just Julia's saying to concentrate on being invisible, really. Because, yeah, we actually have written the start of a fake research paper by one of our characters on Homo sapiens sanguinus. Seriously! Like, that's honestly, like, I realize that I'm a massive science nerd. We've established this. Like, that's a well known, widely acknowledged thing. But, like, that's the kind of shit that I want to read, alright? Like, just, just like full on research papers and like scientific analysis in a story, alright? Like, explain to me what the world is, how the science works, how the magic works, if there is magic. A lot of times the magic and the science are the same thing or intertwined somehow, which is cool. Like, I want to see that. Like, because someone is exploring it and doing experiments with it, not just like straight up exposition because there's a new character and the rest of the cast needs to inform them what's going on. Like, ah! And I realize this is for kids, so it gets passed. But still. Ah! Oh, man. It's fun as a writer. It helps us keep our science straight, right? Like, what was it? I forget if it was the final or one of the big papers, but I had a creative writing class in undergrad, and it was, I don't know, a 5-10 page paper, discussing and presenting evidence that werewolves were a thing. I got an A on it. Everyone thought I was completely nuts, but, you know, hey. You give me a blank slate, you say you can write about whatever you want when I ask for clarification, I'm gonna come up with something. So there you go. Oh. Huh. Don't remember where it is or if I still have access to it, but if I do, it's probably on one of the myriad flash drives that are populating the desk over yonder there. But yeah, yeah, no, it was cool. Cause like you pull in, like lore and real world accounts of particular, I don't know, genetic whatevers and stuff. And at that point, it was like, this is the lore. This is like actual scientific things. This is like explanations of lore from a scientific thing. So it's like, yeah, yeah, exactly. I think there were a few Castlevania references and Hellsing and stuff in there. Because why not at that point? But yeah, good times. Uh, yeah. I don't know. Does this paper still exist? I don't know. It might do. If it does, it's on one of the old flash drives that I have somewhere. Probably in the desk. Patreon perk. Yeah, no, totally. If y'all want to see that. Same with the bad, like, angsty teen poetry. Like, if y'all want to see that, like, that's cool. I could do that as a release thing if I find it. I would totally be down for that. uh, yeah, no, totally. Okay. Oh, yeah. Also, right? um, when when Melina is like trying to get the elixir and whatnot to sell it to people, which I know there's some who would be like all gung ho about it, but for the majority of the populace, if they have all the parameters of, you would be stuck as you are at the time of consumption for the rest of time. Like, I honestly don't know many people who would be like, oh yeah, no, that's great, yeah, I want that. Like, no, I don't know about that one. Especially because we don't know in the context of the story, like the story that we have access to, if there is the healing factor either. Just that you're frozen at that point. So, like, if you get killed after that fact, what happens? We don't know. It's a mystery. But we do know that, like, if everything is busted and you're trying to figure some way to, like, not be in massive pain all the time and whatever else, and, like, whatever, that's gonna be your reality for ever. Which, like, I don't know about y'all, but I'm not really down for that one. To be perfectly honest. uh, we also don't know about intellectual growth. Yeah. Like, oh, oh. That, and with the guy who hid the elixir took a sip of it and then went into hiding and then disappeared for a couple 100 years and then came back and was helping to or however long it was that he was hiding, because he disappeared when he was 95, and then came back and is helping to make the Order of Magi better. Like, it's on a shorter time scale, I guess, but that whole sequence, like, from the red elixir and that whole sequence, like, I realize that it's a repeating thing, and the Philosopher's Stone is a long-standing discussion topic in the realm of, like, alchemy. But that particular set of situations is pretty almost frame for frame to a point with Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. For, like, the Voldemort in Quirrell's head versus Potter scene, with the whole Mirror of Erised and all of that. The whole battle, just drop it back in the fountain so it breaks. I mean, basically. From the, well, from the sounds of it though, with the whole battle situation, like I would say, yeah, totally. But where is it? So we've got where is it? We've got the infinity pool that's here, and then they'd run all the way to the oak something something. What's it called? Oak Alley down here, and that's where like the conflict was actually happening. Hence the potential issues with that. I will say though, with the whole like plant symbolism, because we've got the oaks with their the strength and truth and ancient wisdom and everything, and when Melina's like it it didn't really make a whole lot of sense. Like, did she call the lightning that then set the tree on fire, or was it just a coincidence that it starts raining and stuff at that exact moment? Like, but they're in the oak grove. Her mom is cowering under one of the oak trees, so she's hiding under the branches of like strength and protection and stuff. And the grandmother is attacking them while they're under the branches of strength and protection and wisdom and everything that are currently on fire. But the flames are slowly being put out by the rain. That like water is usually a like in moderation at least. Water is kind of a calming force to the volatile nature of flames and stuff. And at the end of the conflict, the tree's out. Well, is it out or is it not there anymore? Okay, the tree's out. Her mom's alright. Grandma gets scared and runs off, and they're fine. So, yeah, interesting. Um, but yeah, it's like an interesting combination of Potterverse. What I'm guessing is the Miss Peregrine's Miss Peregrine's home, because like I've seen like half of the film. Or half of one of the films. I don't even remember how many there are at this point. But from what I remember of that, it seems kind of on par. And then we've got phrases like, she didn't need an amplifier to channel the magic, she was the magic. Which, most of the time you see it phrased as, she had the magic, or it was inside all along, or whatever, but the only one that I've seen that's referenced as, like, you are magic is Merlin. So we have, like, the Deus Ex Machina, Deus Ex Plantino, Plante, Deus Ex Plante, situations, an illusion that Piper, who didn't know about things at all until she went to this strange and interesting place, is the chosen person with super special awesome sauce abilities, is kind of sort of described as being Merlin-y in a way, and has a weird sports rivalry with other people that are also like 10. All framed around her dad's dying of cancer, and she has to come to terms with that. Which, taken as, like, okay, I gotta blow my nose, 1 second. Un momento. Which, taken as a story to help kids, like, accept the realities of mortality, and that regardless of what you want to do, sometimes there's nothing that you can do except, you know, be there for people who are going through stuff. Like, if you're going, especially if you're going through a situation like that, that could be a very powerful tool. And I can see, especially if that's your reality, you're trying to, like, a lot of times you pick up a book to escape from whatever your reality is, or to experience a new reality. So either it's like a friend is going through something, so you read a thing and you happen to get a better handle on what they might be experiencing. Or you're going through something and haven't been able to process it, especially if it's a death related situation, then having it in a fictional space in which the characters process what's happening and come to terms with it could be highly beneficial. Depends. I know by the time I was like 12, most of my family had already uh, disappeared into the ether, if you will. Uh, so there's that. But yeah. I will say that where is it? The last couple lines in 27 though. Like whenever I'm reading something, like interestingly it tends to be less when I'm watching it, but if I'm reading it and one of the characters who has gone through a lot, has dealt with a lot of stuff, comes to terms with whatever it is that they're dealing with, or if there's like a family member that dies in the course of the story. That's one of the things that always gets me. Especially if it's reading, because then it's like you're saying it in your mind's eye and you have to fully construct the reality so you're like there. That the goodbye scene at the end of 27 was like tears, you know. And yet for all our bitching, it was well written enough to give 3 stars. Yeah, exactly. There are things that I would like to see different per se, but also I'm not like 10. So I realize like and it's one of those things that you have to realize going in that you might not be the exact demographic for it, but it's still a good story. And you can still get things out of it. It's just maybe a little more annoying than certain things. And honestly, like I don't know if I was picking up the like come here you. I don't know if I was picking up certain Potter-esque bits from this because I read it right after this, or what. But there we go. It was a braiding sweetgrass firekeeper's daughter situation, I guess. Maybe. So so there's that. But yeah. Overall, it's a solid 3 out of 5. Yeah. And it's a pretty fast read, too. Well, depending on how fast you read. I ended up doing a speed read through the last, 20 chapters. Yeah. No. But yeah, for all that, there's bits that seem fairly contrived and like obvious almost. Built in specifically for exposition purposes and whatever else. It works. You know? How much should we read for next week? I don't know. We're doing. Why is there a random thing on me? We're doing Prison Healer. Yeah. How many chapters are in Prison Healer? I don't know. Oh yeah. Okay. One sec. Come on. There we go. Okay. Phone was being weird. The battery is too low to do updates. Like, your battery is at 100%. Alright. Okay then. Okay, let me just check this. I forget, did we know that there's a... Yeah, okay. So, Prison Healer is part 1 of a 3-part series. If Libra 7 tracks and chapters line up, we suggest through chapter 8. It requires 110%. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Totally. Nope, stop. Stop it. Stop it. There we go. Okay, so there's 416 pages, presumably. Yeah, through chapter 8 seems like it would probably work. Yeah, chapter 8. Sounds good. Good plan. I am in favor of that plan. That works. Alright, so there's that. Yeah. Any Any other observations or whatnot for first track is about 3 minutes, so is that a prologue or chapter 1? I don't know. It's probably a prologue, because that seems like prologues tend to be like 3 pages, maybe. But like 3 or 4 pages. But I don't know. uh, no, actually. How many chapters are in the present healer? Okay. Maybe. Maybe. Okay. If we're off, we'll figure it out. Yeah, 1 sec. Oh, there's a map. That's cool. No, I don't want that in the thing. There we go. Prologue, and then chapters 1 through 33. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like there's 2 maps, and then, yeah, so it starts with a prologue, and then it's that. And if we don't like it, we don't have to read the whole series. Exactly. I don't know if the second one is out yet or not, but the first 2 apparently are released this year, and the third one isn't released until next year. So, something to be aware of. Okay, so yeah, prologue is track 1. So it looks like through chapter 7, maybe? We'll figure it out. But, yeah. Sounds about right. Prologue through chapter 7, then. Sounds good. Sounds good indeed. Alright. So. Apparently I don't need to burp. Alright. Or not. Okay. So, do we want to hang out and do something else? Was there any... I just realized that there's breaks in the text that are like branches and vines and stuff. Like, I just realized that somehow. Even more so because the spine doesn't have it like that. It's not. I realize that that's like a very minor thing, but like the lack of continuity in, because it's the same font but it's approached differently, and that's bugging me. Okay. Anyway, let's carry on. Make more things for craft fair thingy. Okay, I can do that. Alright. So. That's the wrong thing. Okay. Detail people we are. Right? It's like, I appreciate that this is a thing that not everyone else would be, annoyed with, but also. But also. Okay. Ah! Oi! Come here, you! Oh, no, you don't. Okay. I don't know where to go. Okay. There's that. And the thing. And the thing. And I made a pattern yesterday. Where did it go? Did something eat it? No, there you are. Okay. So I made a tiny. How goes the making? It goes. It's going. It's doing, I suppose. Okay. Game art. Yes. Thank you, friends. Ow, okay, come here, you. Alright. Now. Thank you, honeycomb. What color should a T-Rex be, you think? The last time I made this, it was neon green. I don't know. need a teal. Okay. Oy. Good to know on that. I don't have teal, but I will make a note of that. Teal with yellow spots. I like it. I like the aesthetic that you're going for there. I do indeed. I have an idea. I don't know if it'd work, but I do. I do indeed. Okay. So, I made a little dude because I couldn't find the original pattern. So, they're just Buddy. Experiment time, yes indeed. Okay, now. Actually, one sec. Testing. There we go. Okay. Is that? Yeah. All right. There we go. Pew pew. Exactly. Ah. No. Where? There you are. Okay. What is happening? Alright, so we've got two headpieces. Yeah. Alright. No. Got that. Alright. So now we just need those bits. Okay. And the arms. Yeah. Alright. So, we've got this thing here. Maybe. And maybe possibly. Okay. So we fold that over there, and then we do the thing. Fire at will starts running. I think I remember seeing a tabletop episode like that. Because, like, Will Wheaton is one of the guys that's, like, on the cast, runs it, whatever phrasing you want to use. It's like, fire at will! It's just like, why? Why is it always me? What did I do? Um, yeah. Alright. Okay. So we've got one arm. And we've got the other arm. Oh, okay. Phone's just randomly decided it wants to turn it off, so yeah, apparently that's where we are right now. I guess there's a reboot part of the update process that's necessary at the moment. So, there we are, I guess. Ah! You ate my leftovers, Will. They were clearly marked well. You ate my snacks, now you die. I mean, seems legit, you know? Hmm. Okay. Do I have... Ah! This section. It's already cut off. I do, and it's over there. Alright. Okay. Alright. I have an idea. Just bear with me for a bit, because, like, it's gonna take a second to, like, make sense in my brain enough to, like, stop moving. Enough to actually explain it. So. Yeah, okay. We'll do that. Alright. So. Apparently I pushed something that was trying to exit OBS. Because reasons, apparently. Yeah, totally. Okay. So, we've got... We are here to support the beneficence of the muses. Thank you much. Okay, so we've got that. And we've got... we've got... that. Okay. Mm, maybe. Maybe. Okay. So, okay, what's... You would think that I would know what these guys look like after drawing them a bunch. Okay. What kind of coloration do bees have? Because... Okay, so I have an idea. And it's wanting to be a thing. Why are you not scrolling? Okay. Alright, now I can work with this. So we've got... And then... Okay. Maybe. Okay, so let's see if I can get this to work. And if not, we'll figure something else out. Okay. So, we do the foldy fold, line up the things, make sure that all the bits are where they're supposed to be. Okay. So there's that. So we've got we fold to get a flat thing. And then we do another fold to get another flat thing. And another one. And another one. Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, we'll see if my experimental attempts at whatever have actually worked. Okay. So there's that. Yeah. Okay. Now, we've got the black. Alright. Now, don't need a lot of black for what I'm doing. But we do need it to be folded. So, where'd the feet go? I had them. There you are. There's the feet. Okay. Alright, okay, there we go. No. So we're doing an experiment. This is not a new concept on this channel, but it is in fact a new experiment. So we'll see if it works. Yeah. Because even if it doesn't work, it's a new and interesting take on some, so I figure might as well, you know? Yeah, no? Okay. Interesting take on what was polishing chompers for that T-Rex smile. Nice. Interesting take on the Bob Fulu design. Okay. So let me get this part situated with all the bits, and I need a second. Okay, yeah, I knew I was forgetting something. I only have one of each of those. I need another set for the back too. Don't I? Yeah, I do. Alright, this sounds intriguing. Yeah, I hope so. Okay, so there's that. Yeah, so that one's good. This one. Will work, and then that's good. Okay. So let's see if I can get this situated. Okay. You have returned to the Fortress of Selective Solitude. Okay. Understandable. Alright, now Ah. Alright. We are now settled snugly again in our room because for some reason we decided you needed to know that. You are selected into solitude. That is fine. I am honored to be part of the solitudinous. Is that a word? That I'm making that a word. Okay, there we go. Sometimes. Sometimes. Ah. Okay. I realize y'all can't see what I'm doing at this point, and I don't even. Ow. Coming up. At this point, I don't even know how well it's gonna work when I actually try and put this thing together, but meh. Our blankets need like detachable epaulets so they stay on our shoulders. That would be kind of awesome. That would be kind of amazing. So, yeah, just saying. Yeah. Just a heads up, I'm probably not gonna finish this guy on stream. Actually, I can guarantee that I'm not gonna finish this guy on stream. However, so if I can move this without it, like, completely falling all over the place. Falling the bits and all that, you know. So, that's what I'm attempting. I need to cut out, I need to cut out, pieces for the back. Yeah, it is. It is. It is indeed. So, yeah. I don't think there's a a prompt for the streaming stuff that I can, like, finagle that into, but I don't really care. So yeah. Ah. I shall take this shoehorn and I shall make it fit exactly. Exactly. So yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've started posting the um old uh book club episodes on YouTube. So as of right now, there should be, I think all the ones that we did for the Spoke the Plant should be up now. So like all 5 of those. If I remember right, I scheduled the first one that I have for Raiding Sweetgrass, so it'd be like the second chapter. For Wednesday, maybe? And then we'll go from there. I exported the third chapter, or the third one, chapter 3, episode 3, whatever you want to call it. And I don't know if it's that the computer was having an issue, or the file got corrupted, or what, but the base file is fine, so I can just redo it. But the exported file is just solid black with no sound. So, I don't know on that one. For that. But there we go. Okay, so we've got 2 arms, 2... Yeah, I don't need this anymore. 2 sets of wings. Been giving TSP Part 1 watch time when we can today. Awesome sauce. Very cool. Very cool. Alright, so there's that. Oh, for export corruption. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. My thoughts. Exactly. Okay. Yay for much backlog clearing. Indeed. Like, seriously, yeah, I can use that. Like, yeah. I don't know. I rediscovered, like, a whole vlog set, like, the reading vlogs and stuff, that I'd meant to post back in, like, I don't know, June. That still hasn't been posted yet. I have the monthly wrap up from June that still hasn't been posted yet. Ah. Yikes. I mean, unless I just do, you know, the last few months, this is what I've read. But, like, just the 1 month one was, like, I don't know, almost an hour without, you know, editing it down and stuff. So, I don't know how well that's gonna work exactly, but yeah. That's where I'm at the moment on that one. But you're getting it done, and it's okay to have to drop some stuff. Yeah, I know. I know. Like, it's one of those things that, like, intellectually, I'm aware that, you know, needing to drop stuff sometimes is, like, totally okay. But convincing the rest of me that it's okay, it is an entirely different animal. Which, yeah. I also realize isn't just a me thing. Like, I totally get that. Our salty review of The Mermaid and the Witch in the Sea is not happening at this point. No? Were you guys waiting for the bees, or was it something else? Because if it's the bees, I can totally, like, get those done for you. It's been too long since we read it. We're waiting on the well-being to write it. Okay. That's fair. That's totally fair. I'm trying to put your eyeball on. Why are you... Why? Yes, I'm using actual thread this time. Because the stuff that I was using before just didn't want to hold up. That's why. Okay. There we go. But you know what? What? Ah. Yay, you're still doing things. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Ah. Okay. Hmm. Miss Crispy. Alright. Now. So I've got an eyeball over here to finish. And then another eyeball. Should be have 6 limbs. Yes. Yes, they should. Another eyeball. Wait, that's the Fate's eyeball. Never mind. That's fair. Ow. No, no, step it. Step it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and... Ah! Okay. So we've got that. Where'd your eye go, bud? That's a random green. Do I have to get you another eye? What happened? When you're wearing black and you're trying to work with black, and there's black everywhere, and totally. Where, really? Where's your eye, bud? How's about I sew the rest of your pieces together, and then I'll find your eye. Because that's inevitably how it's going to work anyway, probably. Yeah, okay. Okay. And like... Okay. So there's that. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, I should probably sew down the other side of this too, shouldn't I? That'd probably be a good plan. Instead of just having it flap around in the wind. Because, like, it'd work as a cape, but, like, not exactly as stripes on a critter, you know? You should probably also put a knot in this thing, because, you know. Also doesn't help when you're trying to sew things on. If there's nothing to attach it to. There we go. Suddenly remembers that at some point in a dream last night, someone got halfway down a very long seam and realized they'd run out of bobbin thread. Oh no. No. Oh, the pain. The pain is palpable. Like, seriously. Oh, hate that. Like, that's one of the things that I like about handwork. Because, you have control over it. Because, it kind of gets sort of obvious when you run out of thread, you know? Not so much the case if it's on a machine. Sometimes. Okay, so we've got that there. Okay. Yeah. Like, I mean, it takes forever. It's freaking annoying a lot of times. But you do have more control over it, which I appreciate. Alright. Um. hmm. Can you sew and answer plant questions? Yeah. Yeah, this stuff I can talk and stuff with. Yeah. This stuff I'm okay doing that. If it's like something more cerebral or like trying to figure out color matching or whatever, that's that's more of an issue. This I'm just trying not to stab myself, so yeah, we're good. What's be up? I'd rather stab myself and not also sew a random thing that's not supposed to be. Rumble appears to have root rot, is salvageable. Ooh. Hmm. It depends sometimes on the type of succulent. Ordinarily, from what I've seen at least, I haven't successfully done it, so there's that. But from what I've seen, if you take like if it's the root system that's janky, you can, at least in theory, cut the succulent above the rot point. And transplant it to another pot. For that, you would want to let the cut part, like, I forget the proper term, like scab over, I guess. And once that happens, you might need to kind of introduce it to water again. I know I looked it up a while back, but I can't remember the specifics exactly. I can send you some info after we're done, though. And yeah, yeah. If you do that though, you want to, like, well the plant's not in the soil, you want to generally, like, replace the soil, because a lot of times if it's root rot, there's, you know, a connection to potentially overwatering, but also the ratios might be off, I guess, in the soil itself. So, like, the perlite versus the sand and rocks and whatever else. So that if the plant survives, that doesn't happen again. Okay, it's keeled over from overwatering. Okay. Yeah. You could also try, like, how long has Bumble been, like, just kind of keeled over and stuff? Because I know sometimes it's, like, the plant's having issues, but if you just let it dry out for a while, then it kind of comes back to itself. About a week, okay. Maybe. Yeah, no, I'll look through some stuff and send you some info uh, in a while. Next, like, day or so. On that one. But yeah, if it's root rot, especially for succulents, that would be like a overwatering thing generally. Then yeah. There's been issues for over a month now with Dad sneakily watering, thinking he's being helpful, and us trying to let it dry out. Oh, dang. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Um, hmm. Okay. That does paint a bit of a different picture there. I don't know. Yeah. Um, hmm. Because wilting has to mean it needs more water, according to him. Yeah, I mean, for most plants, yeah. But, like, not for the C4s. Jesus. Honestly. Like, I get the sentiment and all that, right? But also, um, come on now. Not every species needs the same thing. Just like not every person can eat the same stuff. It's not rocket science, you know? But oh well. Yeah, no, I'll send you guys some info stuff that you might be able to use. We'll see. We'll see if any of it helps. No prob. No problem. Alright, so. There we go. So, we've got some stripes so far. Yeah? Now we gotta put the boots on. Yeah. The stripes. Okay. Ah, no. No. But yeah, this little dude's gonna have 6 legs. Stab it. Okay. Now. So we've got one side of the body. Okay. So we're gonna pop that over there and try and find the other eyeball. It's like I realize that I'm gonna be cutting out more black eyes. That's just a thing that's gonna happen. But like also don't wanna have to cut out more black eyes right now. The other half of the body was sitting on it. Of course. Of course. Because where else would it be? Be. Hee hee. God. Alright. Okay. Okay. All right. So, all right. So, how was the weekend for you guys? Anything interesting go down? No, just I was gonna say, oh yeah, you have any plans for the weekend? And then I realized that it's Monday and not Thursday because time is a construct. So like it became yeah, did you do anything on the weekend? Yeah. That's all. Uh ah, okay. Yes. Plan to listen to Prison here through chapter 7 this weekend. A good plan. A good plan indeed. Yeah. Oh yeah, and if anyone who's watching this wants to see like back episodes of the Botany Book Club stuff, there's a master post in the Botany Book Club channel in the Discord that has um all the past book titles and authors and everything and ratings. And under that there's a list of um the videos as they get posted to YouTube. So right now there's I haven't checked it since like noon, but there should be the full set of the Spoke the Plant ones up at the moment. So yeah. Also plan to listen to more books. Yay! Very cool. Okay. So we've got one arm. Ow. Come on. What is happening? Ah. Where did you go? No, that's attached. What is happening? Today we finished phase 1 in personal read Moby Dick challenge. Read In the Heart of the Sea, the true tale of what happened to the whale ship Essex, which Melville partly based Moby Dick on. Okay. Next phase is to actually read Moby Dick. Very cool. Thank you for a link in the Discord, guys. Much appreciate. Alright. Also going to try and read all the Dumas romances in order and The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Have fun. I wish you success with that. Yeah. How many Dumas romances are there, though? Because, like, admittedly, I'm not all that familiar with his work. But yeah, no, I definitely want to read The Hobbit. It's an epic reading quest. Exactly. Exactly. I definitely want to finally read Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, though. Now that I could make into a vlog. Journey to somewhere while reading Lord of the Rings. I think there's like, oh wow, 13. Jeez, man. I wish you success with that. Because, yeah. Okay. And yeah, I need to do the other two arms too, but I want to get all the bits that I've cut out on first. So, yeah. I don't quite know which side is going to be the front at this point, so whichever side the stripes turn out better on, I'll attach the heart to. Okay. Now, here's the question. Does it actually match up? So we've got the top. Okay, the bottom. The bottom matches up pretty well there. Things seem to be going right on the bottom there. Now, what about the middle? Considering our most favorite series ever is around 22 books, and we've reread many times, we can probably do it if Dumas doesn't get annoying or boring. That is the question, though, isn't it? It's like, I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, but like, if you irritate me, all bets are off. Yeah. Okay, is that lined up? Is that gonna work? Maybe, sort of, kinda. That end, yes. This end, not so much. Like, yeah, okay. I can work with that. Yeah. It's like, annoy at your own peril. And for like the edges on these, I'm just doing a running stitch. Because all I need to really do is tack it down before it's actually sewn together. To secure everything. The only ones that I'm doing the blanket stitch are the, like, I don't know, independent pieces, I guess. So like the main bits here. Ah, stab it. Okay. Come on. Uh, we're on a bit of a completionist kick, following series trying to whittle down the number of bought but never listened to audiobooks, that sort of thing. But those are loosely held goals. That works. Totally get that. I'm going through stuff here and it's like, well, I've had you for the last decade and a half. Do I even want to still read you? Well, maybe. Okay. So, that is stripe 1. Sounds like us finding Akhtar in our library. Oh, God. Like, I've seen the reviews of that, and I know it's like, oh yeah, it's such an amazing book, oh my god. But, yeah. Like, I'm good with some, like, erotic in my fantasy and all that, but, like, vivid descriptions of fairy pain, I don't know about that. When it's like, when that seems to be a main plot point, the point that, admittedly, I have not read it, but from reviews, it's like the characters' bits end up becoming their own characters with how much they're described. uh, Nope. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Ow. Trying not to stab myself, thanks. That didn't work, evidently. Oh, yeah. I'm sitting over here. Might as well just wrap this up before I inadvertently end up cutting it. I had to restart the app because it froze contemplating a fairy tale. I mean, valid point though. There you are. Okay. So. Ow. Okay. So we're not gonna get all the way done, but I at least want to do the stripes on this guy. So we'll see. We'll do the stripes, figure out which one's front, and maybe put the heart on, and then call it a night, I think. Okay. You help all the layers keep me warm. Exactly. Yes, yes, yes. They're, yeah. You'll be nice and toasty. How did it get to be after 8? Oh, jeez. Alright, yeah. It's... wow. Alright. Apparently, it is in point of fact after 8. I have no idea on that one. Wow, alright. So, let me finish up this one real quick, and then we'll do a group decide on which side is the front. Clearly fun was had and flow state achieved. Exactly. Okay. Ow. Oh, jeez. Alright. So, we've got option 1. And option 2. I'm thinking option 2. I don't know if that's because it was the second one that we did, and I was, more aware of the process or what, but I don't know. I think. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Much cute indeed. Okay. That's how much thread I have left. Again, exactly. So well calculated, exactly. So nice. Okay. So that is it for that. Oh man. Need to get up and move and eat something if nothing else. So, yeah. Alright. Ow. So we've got okay, so we've got a front and a back. Four out of 6 limbs, because, you know, we got the feet and we got the 2 arms, so we need 2 more. And we've got 2 sets of wings. So, yeah. Success. Now the other question, do we want all the legs to be black? Or do we want a set to be yellow? Because I'm thinking black. I don't know. Because if we want the yellow ones, there's... Or they could just, you know, be for somebody else. Yeah, so got those guys. And then yellow legs would be kind of weird. Yeah, a fair point. Oh man. Ow. Okay. There we go. For being like, I mean, it's not fake, right? It's not like substantial felt, but for being like $1.50, these are pretty soft. Like it's a really soft felt, so which is interesting. Okay, so that's over there. That's over there. Okay. Alrighty. There we go. So, do we want to do a raid or do we want to just end? How's people feeling today? Hmm. Headed to bed, so unless you want to solo raid, yeah, no. That, I'm not seeing anybody on right now. Like, I don't really feel the need there. Don't see any particular folks on either. So, yeah, yeah. Alrighty. Well, in that case, thank you for hanging out and being generally awesome, and we had a fun time making a bee friend. I will see all of you fabulous people, random bit of help, later on the Discord on Thursday for the Thursday stream, on the YouTubes, wherever it happens to be, and I will see y'all later. Have a fabulous rest of your day. Night, friends. Night, everybody. And there we go. Hugs for everybody. There we go. Have a good one.